And we're joined by Dan Rogers, the Executive Director of the Kelowna Chamber of Commerce. A really interesting news conference with our Provincial Health Officer, who, if I could summarize, was really handing the ball to businesses saying, you know all the measures. Instead of me issuing orders, we have a problem with Omicron right now, handle it. You know what to do. What do you think?
Well, the comments obviously weren't surprising, but it's, I draw the same comparison. We've been in stormy seas for the past 2 years. It's not surprising that we remain in stormy seas, and that's the key message that was delivered by the province, that these stormy seas will continue for a little bit longer. I think most businesses have figured out a way over the last 2 years to pivot, to adjust, to be ready for constant change. We've been hearing from many businesses that it's frankly the way that they do business now, that they start the week by looking what changed this week and what adjustments do I have to make. So it's not a big surprise. The businesses have to be pivoting and paying attention to rough waters because they've been doing it for the past 2 years.
There's Bonnie Henry saying she wants to get out of the order business.
Well, I think the approach that we're used to now in BC is that there are guidelines, there are recommendations, and then there are orders. And by that preference, so we're used to that. That's consistent, and I think that businesses have appreciated that consistent approach, that only when necessary orders will be put in place. So I think that's positive, that consistent approach to dealing with recommendations, that there will be a hierarchy, is appreciated by business.
And there are other provinces where things have been handled in a more order way.
Well, I think when you look across the province, and this would be a good piece of work afterwards, is a bit of a sum up between the provinces of the different approaches, because every province has been different, and it's led to confusion in the marketplace because we're exposed to what's happening in our neighboring province, what's happening across the country, and it can lead to confusion and challenges on the communication side. Right now, we're recommending our members in the business community focus on what the province of BC is doing and don't get too distracted by what other provinces are doing, and we'll assess afterwards which approach was best.
So what do you hear back from your members? Are people, there's so many hard-felt opinions on all of this, but do your members appreciate the approach that our province has taken? Are they frustrated by it? What kind of feedback do you get?
There's a feedback that we're getting on both ends of the scale. They're not doing nearly enough. They're doing way too much. So I think there's no consensus across the board, but I think there is an appreciation generally that at least the approach has been consistent. Greater communication is the one underlining thing that we hear from our members. They need to better understand what's being recommended, what are the requirements legally for them to do, and make sure that communication keeps up for the last little stretch. And hopefully it is the last little stretch here.
Let's hope. Thanks very much.
Thanks.